Welcome to the Employee Co. podcast. I'm Rob Wilson. With me is my brother and partner, Scott.
Hello.
And Jason Eisenhut, our Vice President of HR.
Hi, everyone.
Working the board, as usual. He's back from a brief stint.
Parental leave.
Jackson working the board, proud father of Riley.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so Riley, we picked up, the cool thing is in Employco, we picked up another listener.
Yeah.
I believe
The demographic.
right before we came on here to record, Jackson did say, well, yeah, he listens. He's a listener. You put him to sleep.
We have calming voices.
So welcome to 2026, another new year in the HR world, Jason.
Yep. Some trends are here upon us, and we're going to do some prognosticating and what we're going to see throughout 2026.
Yeah, so speaking of trends, if you look at the HR trends on attraction and retention for 2026.
Yeah, number one is the gig economy, and no longer does this just mean Uber and Lyft drivers, although that's a big part of it. More and more people, at least part of their income is coming from the gig economy. And that could be Uber, Lyft, it could be Fiverr, they could be a video developer, a freelance writer, could be a dog walker. Usually these are through some kind of shared app where you can put your request in and someone will respond saying, I'll take the job.
Almost anyone that's a 1099, if you think about it.
Yeah, right.
You know, from that standpoint, if you're receiving a 1099, you're not an employee. Unless your employer's doing it incorrectly.
Right.
So, but the statistic was over 70 million people are in the gig world.
And then by 2027, the majority, I don't know if that's 51%, but the majority of U.S. workers will have some gig work accompanied with them. That's just at least half the people in the United States will be doing some type of gig work by 2027.
So that's not necessarily a full-time gig. That could be a secondary,
like a supplement.
You've got Jason's running our HR department. He's driving an Uber at night, right?
A dog walker.
Yeah.
And I think more and more people are shifting to that because, you can go on either side of the argument, but I think the reason why people move to that is because it provides more autonomy. You have more control of your hours and work-life balance and workloads and all that stuff. You can accept the jobs as they come, as you feel it's ready.
And a revenue stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as you see more and more, despite inflation being down substantially now over the last 12 months versus pre-election, the 2024 election, the rate of inflation is down. Mm-hmm. Some prices are down. I know in Chicago gas is down, but overall your expenses are still up. There's more and more taxes. If you live in Chicago, they've got a tax for everything now. So your net income at the end of the day is shrinking.
Right.
If you own a home, your property taxes in Cook County they haven't gone down ever, let alone, there's so many areas of the government that are broke that the taxes are just out of control. So you're looking for additional income, and each year when you look at the average wage raises each year, you're in the 2 to 3%. The average increase is really just keeping up with inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for those people, those workers are shifting out of the true workforce and into the gig economy. If it's going to be a full-time work for them, employers can get ready by analyzing, okay, so if we're having a tough time recruiting for a job, could this be performed through gig? If we need a website developer, if we need a freelance writer, if we need, someone to analyze data, can we hire someone on a project basis through gig work, 1099, instead of hiring the full-time employee? And so that's something that employers can start to look out for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're definitely seeing more and more of it.
Yeah, and I think we'll also, just like anything, I think there's going to be a pendulum that swings at some point back, and as people realize, I don't have unemployment, I don't have workers' compensation, I don't have employee benefix,
health insurance.
Yeah, some might switch back to the regular W-2 workforce.
And when you talk about health insurance too, the advantage of working somewhere is the ability to buy health insurance. When you look at the ACA, as the Democrats and Republicans went back and forth and shut down the government over ACA credits that are expiring, when those do expire, and they were never meant to be there forever. So is coming out of COVID, when so many people that were accessing healthcare through the exchanges across the country, when those credits are gone, if you buy health insurance through the exchange, it's expensive.
Yeah. Yep.
Move on to number 2, AI redefining roles, Jason.
Yeah, so artificial intelligence, I'm sure everyone agrees, it's not just a fluke. It's going to be here to stay. Depends on what industry and what type of business the employers want to provide. But it's here to stay, whether it's just a little minor task on the side some people do, or it's going to completely replace a customer service department. But it is here to stay, and employers are getting ready, if they haven't already, to potentially have some layoffs. So if a customer service department or a data analysis department for larger employers can be replaced by AI, they're getting ready for that. Okay, who do we pick for the layoffs? And then who are we going to have to hire in exchange for that to work on the AI and keep that up to date and working?
Yeah, when stat was 43% of companies plan to replace roles with AI.
And I don't see that being this year or next year. I would think it's going to be more of a 5-year where you'll start to see AI being implemented.
More significantly.
Right now, everybody's talking about it, but it's not really doing, what they say it is. So,
But it will definitely over the next couple of years. And
yeah.
I was just on a call before this, and the person presenting it said, don't think of AI as you're entering a question in. Think of it as a junior analyst.
Yeah.
You need to give it a task and not just ask a question. And the more you do that, the more, and that's where your AI is going to start to replace your kind of entry level people.
Yeah, and then I think the employers are now who are considering this, going through also an analysis. Do we need to reskill our employees or hire different employees for that, like prompt engineering or analytics or auditing? So how do we make sure our employees work the best with the AI tools? How do we get them ready for that?
And for them to verify that the AI is correct.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
the auditing side.
right, and then that becomes a good question. So within your team, if you're using AI, are you putting any type of rules around it?
Yep.
Of what you can use and what you can rely on?
Because either it could be inaccurate if it's going out searching for data, or is it really privacy and secure? It could be hacked, and now you have customer data out on an AI platform you never had out before. So there are some concerns out there that organizations are looking forward to.
Right. How about number 3?
Yeah, burnout. So this is more and more employees. We're seeing a kind of a gradual increase in employees reporting that workload is the primary driver of their burnout. So as employers are looking at layoffs, and you have some surviving employees, and we'll get to more on layoffs in a second, I think surviving employees are thinking that workload is too much for what they're looking for now, and that leads to burnout.
Yeah, and so the survey cited 48% of employees say that their workload burnout. But then at the same time, they cite the challenge of the people that are working from home, where you've got this blurred experience of you've got your home life, work life,
right?
And they're merging at the same time because you're working at home.
Yeah. When do you unplug? Do you go on?
I mean, if it's a heavy laundry day, I mean, you can't be expected to do work all day. I mean,
Exactly. Or walk your dog.
Yeah. So for the employees that are experiencing burnout, either the employers, I think it's always good. One of my top things that I always harp on is employee engagement surveys. So if one of the questions on there is, okay, how's your workload? How are you doing? And managers could be meeting one-on-one with their direct reports, like, how's your workload? Are you facing any roadblocks or frustrations? But for employees who are facing burnout, not just because of workload, but maybe they feel stagnant and maybe they haven't had any growth or new opportunities recently. It's obviously something that employers and managers can look at to say, okay, although we may not have a promotion for you, let's look at new opportunities, new projects you can work on, shifting responsibilities, shadowing, things like that.
Right. Yeah. Especially if it's a repetitive task, how can you make that task more interesting?
Right.
And not saying that the next generation's soft, but do you think that will also increase as the workload's burden on, say, kids coming right out of college and stuff, like, oh, I thought this is going to be easy. It's like, well, no, work's work. If it was fun, they'd call it fun,
Yeah. Despite what you see on TikTok.
Yeah, I would expect you'd hear more complaints about workload.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's being more efficient too with your workload.
Oh, yeah.
So layoffs, reshaping the talent pool.
Yeah, number 4. So like we had talked about before, a lot of employers are looking at layoffs, not just related to AI, but maybe the economy, maybe you're in a certain industry that's struggling, but a lot of employers are looking at layoffs, and it is a good time to start prepping for that now. If you think layoffs in 2026 is a reasonable expectation, how do you determine which employees are going to be laid off? Who are going to be the survivors? Well, what's their workload going to be like? What kind of support are you providing them? So start planning now if layoff is in your horizon.
I mean, costs are up. You look at the average health insurance went up.
Oh, in Chicago, it's funny, across the country, they said, oh, it's 10%.
Yeah.
Ours did go up 6%, but a lot of prospects we went into, they were up 18 to 22%.
Yeah, I have a group of friends, and that's like been the reoccurring conversation is the cost of, and they own companies. It's like the cost of health insurance has gone through the roof, and
taxes and plenty of other
yeah,
other expenses. So yeah, I think you'll see hiring be a little bit softer. I think if interest rates go down, I think you'll see that the home building and home buying will go up somewhat, because that's been relatively soft depending on what market across the country.
And then the good news is if your health insurance is going up, contact Jason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we hope. I mean, we luckily that's a nice benefit of working with Employco is that we
have our agency. Yeah.
But it's hard to say what level you'll see layoffs this year.
Right.
And then at some point, in the next couple of years, AI, what is that going to contribute to layoffs?
Yep. I would think quite a bit. Yeah.
And rounding out at number 5, Jason.
Yeah, number 5, last but not least, stability, returning to the labor market. So the unemployment rate's been hovering around low 4s, 4.5% for a while now. It's still historically really good. We're not at the 10%, 15% we were at 2009 and 2020 for COVID. 4.5% is still pretty good unemployment. And so what we're kind of seeing is that not a lot of people are leaving their jobs and not a lot of employers are looking to expand significantly. So it's pretty much holding still.
And the great migration is kind of come
Done.
down.
Yeah.
Right. So as an employer, it was a tough market a couple of years ago.
Big time.
And now that's definitely leveled out. And as every year you hear, and I think we mention this in a podcast or an HR chat, the amount of people that say, I'm going to look for a new job this year.
Yeah.
And as high as that is, I think the market is still pretty stable.
I agree. I think some people might be open to it, either to burnout, but it's just not, we're not seeing significant number of employees, and employers have a lot of swings in terms of departures or terminations and hiring.
Yes, I don't think you're going to see crazy aggressive recruiting, but I think you're going to see a bigger focus on skill alignment within companies.
Yeah, great point. I totally agree. Yeah, we have a kind of an article, HR Insights article. So if you ever want kind of a recap of this, you can send us an email at hr@employco.com. It's a nice, quick 2-page PDF that summarizes some of the kind of bullet points that we were just talking through today.
And any other New Year trends other than you've definitely seen a lot of tax and law changes across the country. Some in more states than others. Not a lot on the federal level, but you definitely have seen some in California, Illinois, some of the more liberal states across the country continue to, so definitely some more HR rules that you need to be looking at. Minimum wages are up in at least a dozen states.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I know President Trump has talked about a federal paid family leave. We're just not there yet, but each state is passing their own, so it's hard to kind of navigate that. We help our clients with kind of the different states and locality, paid family leave and minimum wage. But I don't know if we'll see a federal paid family leave law in 2026. But who knows? Maybe it's coming.
I don't think it will. There's definitely some states that are doing it, but I don't think you're going to see it federally.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't even tackled the minimum wage federally.
Yeah, good point.
So they've been throwing that around for the last few years and haven't been able to do anything.
And it's tough. I mean, you look at in Illinois, we've got a high minimum wage. In rural Illinois, that doesn't support it.
Any other? I know health insurance was a very, very hot topic with a lot of people across the country, as we had mentioned. So you're still seeing that. Workers' comp, depending on the market or the state you're in, you're seeing workers' comp rates creep up in some states. Was actually just looked at a prospect just contacted us yesterday in New York, and their rates were going up pretty substantially, which was interesting. So some markets are a little bit soft still, but and then your taxes continue to change.
It's never ending.
Yeah, and then we're on the one big beautiful bill, and so the tax on overtime and tips, that'll be kind of a change for employers and payroll companies to get ready for and help employees with their tax filings.
Right, because even your overtime and your tip credit between 25 and 26 is different. Your reporting requirements are different between 25 and 26. So if that's something that you guys are doing as a listener, as a company, feel free to reach out to us, because the way they'll let you do it in 25 is different than 26. Happy to help anytime. If you have questions, reach out to us at hr@employco.com. That goes right to Jason, and we'd be happy to help you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I know we've got some good guests lined up, possible guests, not giving you teasers, but
Yeah, we're going to bring
it's
in.
going to be a good 26.
Yeah, our plan this year is to continue doing what we're doing, but we're also going to bring in some special guests to in a variety of different industries to kind of liven up the and not just strictly HR, but employee engagement. It's all HR related, but some leadership discussions, growing your business discussions, and increasing your employee engagement discussion.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
A little plug there.
Yep.
Got the plug bell.
So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to another podcast with you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.